So this is my old bike. I'm gonna make it my street/park winter bike, and I'm gonna run it brakeless with a Freecoaster hub. Thanks to FREENIGHTBMX for hooking me up with this insane hub. I can't wait to try it out. But first of all, I'm gonna strip this one off the brakes. I got some super nice Michelin Pilot pump tires that I'm gonna try out, and then just put on some of my old parts on the bike and see how it feels. Yeah, let's start. So the bike is finally built up and I think it looks pretty sick. I'm gonna go to various amounts of skate parks and try out the hub, and also just try out my street skills. Yeah, I will give you a review later, but hopefully it's sick. Capital Bike Park today, trying out the Freecoaster, doing a lot of fakies and a lot of fakies. So I used to do a lot of fakey stuff with my cassette and the brake, but it's so different with the Freecoaster because when you land backwards you actually gain speed, so it feels super street and super real. I kind of want to step that trick up on the spine though, maybe the bar spin in it, but yeah, it's scary in the beginning and this feels like a totally different bike, because it is, but yeah, it feels hard and scary and hard. So the hub, I think it's working like this. Like when you go forward, it's like a normal cassette, and the slack, it's actually not that bad. I'm gonna do a full review later in this video, but until now, I'm super stoked on how it works, and I had high expectations for this hub, but they are just exceeded fully. So stoked. So another park, another bike, and yeah, it's gonna be fun to try it out, and this park is a bit street oriented, or actually not, it has kind of everything. I'm gonna start the session by doing some street riding, 180 fakey stuff, just try out the Freecoaster. I actually noticed that I can pedal forwards while going backwards, so I'm gonna try out to do that, and yeah, it's kind of hard to be honest. So I think the moonwalk thing looks pretty cool, but it's actually super hard to keep the balance while pedaling forward. Anyway, I'm gonna try out the box jump line now, maybe do some cool stuff and see how the Freecoaster feels in the air. Okay, box jumps definitely worked. Stoked, but I want to try the bowl now and also do some tail taps. It was super hard when I had the brakeless bike because you had a slack and no brake to adjust. But I think it will be possible now, so let's try out the bowl. Okay, I guess tail tap works. Okay, so we're at the last spot of the video at the dome. I'm gonna try the Freecoaster hub in the air, doing some bigger tricks. Like some tricks are faster, like bar spins, because when you do the bar spins you actually move the feet a bit, and that makes it a bit like faster to adjust. And also on turndowns, because you move the cranks a bit, it goes like super fast to snap it in, and I really feel that. But on the downside, on the big jumps, I don't have that much crank stopper on now, so when I land actually it feels like the feet aren't on the pedal because it weighs down, so I might need to get more crank stopper, and yeah, I think it will be better then. To summarize these days trying out the hub, I have been thinking about some stuff before trying it, and then during, and also now after riding it a couple of months. And the first thing I was worried about before was the slack. Like, how was it going to impact my riding? Could I do tail taps with it? Could I even ride without thinking about it all the time? To my surprise, the slack wasn't that big. And I was worried about like riding when you ride chainless and you forget about that you don't have a chain, then you just pedal and fly over your bars or hit your knee in the stem or something, and it's the worst thing ever. And that never happened to me on the bike, and I'm super stoked on that. Also with the tail taps, as you saw in the video, I did it in the skate park with the bike with the brake, and that actually worked good because you could land, pinch your brake, and then just pedal in. But with a brakeless bike, it was super hard. Like, I think I would have needed to like ride it for a long time before being able to do tail taps. So the next thing I was thinking about was the engagement. I was a bit worried that it was going to engage in the wrong situations, like doing huge 180s and stuff, and land and then just not be aware of the pedaling backwards. But it never really happened while doing those kind of stuff. I did notice that it engages when I did like, let's say, bar spin to fakies, because then I jumped up, and then when you do the bar spin you actually move the feet a bit forward, and then it did some engaging while landing backwards, and also on some truck drivers to fakies and stuff, because you move your feet that much, but never on like 180 bars and other stuff like that. So yeah, I really trust the engagement, like it's super good tuned. There could be some small adjustments to it, but overall it feels really nice. So the next thing I was worried about was actually riding bigger jumps. As you saw, I tried it out at the dome, and it was actually easier in some ways because you didn't have any resistance on the cranks. So some tricks like on turndowns feels like you can snap them in faster because you don't pedal backwards, and it's just way more smooth. The one thing I noticed though was that when I did tail whip to bar spins and like no footed tricks, I couldn't really feel when my feet was on the pedals again, because there was no resistance. It felt like my feet was just dropping through the pedal, and like I couldn't really feel it. But when I put on a like harder crank stopper, it felt better again. So if you ride a Freecoaster and want to do big jumps, I recommend to put on a heavy crank stopper. I think a really cool bonus with this hub is that the moonwalk thing you saw in the video, that you can pedal forwards as long as you pedal slower than you're going backwards, if that makes sense. That's pretty cool, and I think you can do some really cool maneuvers with that if you want. The only downside I really noticed with the hub was when I changed the gearing to a heavier one, because then the hub engages differently. It just goes super, like, engages faster, and it doesn't work that good in fakies as well because it has like minimum slack. That's if you have a super heavy gearing, and when I ride park I'm not in need of that, and also I think I could ride all the slopestyle contests with a good gearing that the hub will work with. But yeah, I don't know if you can do anything about it really, like, because you need to have the slack somehow. Other than that, I just want to say thank you FREENIGHTBMX for hooking me up with this hub. It was really fun to try it, and it gives the riding a bit more creativity. Thank you for watching. That wasn't that fun.